what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels Podcast. I'm your host, Brad, joined by my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
What is up is the fact that I've been playing that Donkey Kong, that Danky Kang, as they say on Jeopardy.
Don't you have God of War to play?
I should really get back to that.
Wow. Wow. I am disappointed in you.
Well, the good news is, Terrence, that Donkey Kong's really good.
That has nothing to do with me.
I get that, but listen, as someone who holds the original 2 DKCs up as some of the finest 2D platformers of all time,
right up there with Sonic.
Sonic is terrible. Donkey Kong is where it's at. Look, Donkey Kong Country 2 might be my favorite 2D platforming game of all time. Yes, over any Mario game. As well.
I find that blasphemous, but
Donkey Kong 2 is an amazing game.
Yeah, but to say that it's better than some of these Mario games that's heresy. That makes you a heretic.
only if you are stuck in your old ways and your old methods. But and as someone who's also massively disappointed by Donkey Kong Country Returns, which originally released for the Wii and then also got ported to the 3DS, and both versions were terrible because it controlled like ass and just kind of uninspired. Tropical Freeze is really good. It feels like the old ones. It's difficult as hell, like the Donkey Kong series should be. They finally put the run button on the XY buttons like God intended, which was a serious concern for me when I first before I got the game. And yeah, it's just really good. It looks beautiful. The stages are excellent. There's lots of stuff to do. They have like a time attack mode after you've beaten the stage so that you can try to speed run it. Lots of stuff to collect, lots of replayability. The boss fights are very intricate and very difficult as well because they don't give you checkpoints in the boss battles. So if you fail over these 3-stage boss fights, you got to start over back at the beginning.
Well,
and
how does that work with Poochie Kong?
Well, I wouldn't know, Micah, because I refuse to use Funky Kong because he is baby mode for babies to make it super easy to get through the game. And look, Donkey Kong is about the challenge. That's what it's all about. So I don't use Funky Kong. He's not what I'm looking for from that game. But like I said, it's rare in this day and age. I feel like the 2D platforming game that requires you to execute well, because I feel like Nintendo in their games lately has been putting in a lot of like fail safes so that you can just experience the game and reward you for being less skilled. And I guess that's what Funky Kong mode does as well. But since I disabled it, I don't have to worry about it. I don't even see it. Like, it doesn't like prompt me like when I die 5 times in a row, be like, hey, do you want to use Funky Kong to make sure? No, it doesn't do that because it knows that I'm not looking for that assist from this game. So yeah, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, an excellent game that deserved to be re-released because, like I said, being released on the Wii U did not do that game justice. I'm enjoying it very much, and I would highly recommend that any Switch owners who enjoy 2D platform Nirvana check it out. I give it my highest recommendation so far. I'm like 4 worlds into the game.
Oh, okay, that's very good. I would highly recommend that any PlayStation fanboy that has a son should hurry up and finish God of War.
I would also recommend that happen as well. How far are you in God of War?
I haven't played it all week. Last week I was doing a lot of stuff.
Okay,
that didn't allow me to
racing or whatever the fuck you were just talking about.
Well, but the thing with the benefit with the Switch is I can play that
on the go
during the daylight hours.
Okay.
Because I can't do that with my PlayStation because my son monopolizes the television that's hooked up to. But I can take the Switch out in handheld mode and play that on the couch while he's watching a movie or while my wife is watching something that I don't care to watch. So that's why I was able to play a lot of Donkey Kong this weekend, because I wasn't playing it in docked mode on the TV. I was playing it in my hands. Can't do that with PS4.
Well, that means you need a new TV or another television, right?
Yeah, I know, but that's
what Micah does, right?
Like I said, I did a lot of stuff last week. I recorded like 4 YouTube videos and had a lot of stuff going on, so I didn't get a chance to play Donkey Kong or God of War rather. But I will make a concerted effort to make sure that I do that more this week because I do want to talk about it. So, and I know you guys are waiting.
Excellent.
So, I assume nothing new for you guys game wise.
No,
I downloaded Beyond Two Souls.
Oh yeah, did you play Beyond Two Souls?
I played Beyond Two Souls for a little under 10 minutes and deleted it off my hard drive.
Wait, but
there you go.
hang on a second. I have to ask. It is a David Cage game. Did you actually get to play the game in that first 10 minutes, or were you just watching a video for 10 minutes?
First cutscene was probably like 5 minutes, and then you do some shit with a ghost, and then I was like, I don't want to play this ever again, and I deleted it off my drive. So that's not my type of game. I don't know.
So what you're telling me is it's also not Micah's type of game either, because he doesn't like ghost shit.
No, I'm the one that like ghost shit. Right? Oh no, I don't like shit. I don't like ghost shit either. Can't do shit with ghosts. But yeah, you like horror movies with like gore and shit because
I like
that's tangible. Like ghosts you can't swing on.
Yeah, you can't kill a ghost. You know what I mean? I can at least punch Jason and try to get away. You can't punch a boo. You know what I mean? I haven't played that yet. I think it's the only Quantic Dream game that I haven't played. And now that Detroit Becoming Woke is coming out, I'm probably not going to play it until well after this game.
All right then. Yeah, I'm not playing Beyond Two Souls either until after I play Detroit. If I play it at all.
Right.
I did claim it. I did not play it yet. I did buy Pyre because I went on the PlayStation Store before we got started to download the Warmind expansion because that of course releases tomorrow, as we'll talk about shortly. And I went through my wish list because I was like, I think I bought some of these games. So for some reason on the PlayStation Store, when you buy something, it does not automatically remove it from your wish list like Amazon does. Or more to the point, like densepixels.com Amazon does. So I deleted stuff and I was like, oh, Pyre, why don't they show a price next to you? So I like clicked on it and it's on sale for $12. I was like, well, I'm going to buy it for $12. So bought that.
I was thinking about picking up those two House Mark games. The last two that they came out with.
Next Machina and what was the other one? Because I had them both and I can't remember what the other one's called.
Yeah, Next Machina and the one where you like phase through walls and shit.
Matterfall. That's what
Matterfall.
Yeah.
They're both $20 a piece.
I like them.
They're not cheap.
No, they're not cheap. You can probably wait till they go on sale. Honestly, just keep your eye out
on sale. That's how I got to what the hell is the other game? That's how I got Nier Automata. That shit was just on sale.
Yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. I mean, they'll be on sale eventually. You should buy them because I think Terrence, I think you'll like Next Machina.
That's the one that I'm looking at the most. I might get it tonight. Actually, yo, my Xbox One ain't even hooked up. You know,
that's amazing.
That's a goddamn shame.
That's amazing.
Like I'm using the HDMI cable for the dual screen for my computer right now. I'm so.
It never ceases to amaze. Never ceases.
Wait, when does State of Decay come out? Is that like
weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
I'll cut on for that. Better be good.
Will it be working? Like, is it the Xbox working?
No, I still have the old Xbox One.
Oh, damn. You got two Xboxes in the house and you're not playing either one? God damn.
And I will tell you, if you're not going to call Microsoft to get that X fix, you should probably...
Yeah, I'll call them. I am eventually.
Okay, either that or give it to the guy who gave it to you so he can call them before the warranty runs out.
No,
that would probably be good.
I really should do that.
And by the way, you probably shouldn't buy State of Decay either.
No, I have that pass.
Oh, that's right. You don't even need to worry about it. Yeah. Well, then maybe the person that was going to give that to you for free will just give it to a listener. We'll see.
Oh, okay, yeah. Have fun.
So that is what we've been playing. Real quick, when you get a chance, go to youtube.com/densepixels. Now, this episode is not going to be in video format because we're trying out a new recorder and we have to figure out the video part of it down the road. We couldn't do that tonight, but I'm sure we will upload this episode on YouTube in some way, shape, or form. But you can also check out our previous episodes in video format. Subscribe to the channel while you're there. We hope to do more. Like I said, I know that when we do our God of War spoiler talk, eventually one day when I finish the game, that'll be posted on YouTube as well. So you can check that out for sure. So again, youtube.com/10pixels. If you've not subscribed to the premium side of the TNP Studios Network, definitely consider doing that as well. It's densepixels.com/premium. It's $5 a month or $50 for the entire year to get access to our premium slate of shows, including the Look Forward Political Podcast, The Men with the Golden Tongue, starring myself and Micah, No Time to Bleed, which is getting a new episode either later tonight or actually as you're listening to this, it should be up. You guys recorded Predator 2, I do believe.
Yes.
And was it as ridiculous as Predator 2 is?
I had never seen it.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, because the idea of the Predator walking around LA just didn't make sense to me.
How did you feel about Danny Glover? Actually, you know what? Don't tell me how you feel about Danny Glover.
Because
besting the Predator. You got to go to densepixels.com/premium to find out.
That's right. There are some revelations about Danny Glover that come to light, I think, in that movie. I don't know. We have done, Terrence and I have recorded maybe, I don't know, 3 episodes in 2 weeks featuring Danny Glover. I'm a little right. Danny Glovered out.
It was fucking weird.
I just find it odd how Danny Glover plays essentially what is a Martin Riggs character in Predator 2.
Yeah, and it just doesn't.
I posited a question as we did that episode that I find very interesting.
Yes. I can't wait to listen to it. I can't wait.
That one might find interesting.
I'm looking forward to it. I wish I could have recorded that with you guys because Jay asked if I could, but I was not able to. But I'm looking forward to listening to it. Again, densepixels.com/premium. Check it out. Again, put the $5 down and just check out the back catalog, because I guarantee that once you do the $5, you're going to want to spend the $50. So check that out when you get a chance. And then no matter what podcast you use, be it Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify, Pocket Casts, now owned by NPR of all things, Pocket Cast is, which is hilarious to me. But no matter what you use, you can find us, search for Dense Pixels, subscribe to the show while you're there. We will drop episodes into your feed while you sleep. We're not creepy, but we're convenient. That's what we are. And then you can also check out the other shows in the TNT Studios Network, including Nerd Apocalypse and Black on Black Cinema. So new releases. Conan Exiles is coming out this week. This is a survival game in the Conan universe. Michael, what are your thoughts? I saw you Googled it while I was talking over and promoting stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a big Conan guy. I just never got into it. The only Conan movie I've seen was the one featuring Aquaman, and
I've not seen Conan 1.
I was not impressed with Aqua Conan. So if any of the Conan movies are anything like Aqua Conan, which I assumed Aqua Conan would be better because, hey, it's new, it's updated, it's, all the advancements in film technology in 30 years, I expected something to be, I expected this to be awesome, and it wasn't. It wasn't awesome at all. So I mean, if you're a Conan fan, I guess you can create. Is this the game where you can create a warrior that has like an 8-foot long dick?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. For you size kings and queens out there who want to see a character who want a helicopter dick in a video game, hey, knock yourself out, man. I will not be playing Conan Exiles.
You should at least watch.
Yeah, I played it. I played the beta or the alpha, whatever the fuck it was.
How was it?
I'm not a survival game dude, because I was just running around the desert and I died of thirst, and I was like, well, I don't want to play this anymore.
Yo, you can die of thirst.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is that it's No Man's Conan.
How big did you make your dick, Terrence?
I made my tits incredibly large.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you play female characters. What is
No, I don't even think I made them that big.
Is there fucking in this game?
Really big. I don't know. I have no idea. I played for 20 minutes and I died of thirst, and that was enough for me. So I have no clue.
Well, there better be, because there's absolutely no reason to have genitalia modifiers unless you're going to do something with them.
Well,
question: do you see your enemies driven before you and hear the lamentations of their women in this game?
I know that's a line from that movie that I've never seen, but who says that?
Arnold. It's Conan says that.
Conan.
Oh,
Conan.
okay.
Yeah, Micah, you should at least watch Conan the Barbarian. You can skip Conan the Destroyer. And then Shantae Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition releases on PS4 and Xbox One and the Switch as well in a physical format. So digital, the Destiny 2 Warmind expansion releases this week along with all the accoutrement that comes with. AO International Tennis releasing on the PS4 and Xbox One. Tacoma, which is already available on the Xbox One, is releasing on PS4. This is this new game from the same folks that made Gone Home. Mega Dimension Neptunia V2er. Yes, that's Mega Dimension Neptunia 2 in VR. Comes out for PS4 and PlayStation VR. Raging Justice, a quote classic beat 'em up of epic proportions, comes out on the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
I looked at the trailer. No,
the graphics do not look good.
No, it doesn't, and it looks like it's trying to be good. Like, I can understand someone with a non-discerning eye thinking, "Oh wow, this looks hard, yo."
But, you see, it seems like you're talking about a specific group of people.
But this is not doing anything for me. And
the shit came out in like 2015 and like PC on a PC or whatever.
Man, why after 3 years are the console folks are they finally like, yes, now we can get it to console?
It doesn't and those that's I like those types.
And I would say that like you're the ideal customer if they can make it good for that. So and
you know what this looks like to me? This looks like one of those midway wrestling games.
Yeah, it does. Which I liked. I enjoyed those.
Right, but wait, like the animation and the weird like realistic cartoon vibe of it. It reminds me of that of WrestleMania Arcade.
Yeah. Where they had like super combos and shit.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of WrestleMania, the arcade game.
I love that game.
Did you? I played it and I was just like, I'm going to play WWF Raw because I prefer that to this.
Wait. The one where they had like flat hands.
No, not that one. That's Warzone. You're thinking too far in the future. They had a Super Nintendo game called WWF Raw.
Okay,
that was a little bit more. I hesitate to use the term realistic, but it was more akin to the WWE product.
I know what you're talking about. I had that. I had both.
I used to use tournaments and shit with that all the time back in the day. I remember I loved it because they had like a 16-bit MIDI version of all the theme songs.
Yeah. I used to use Erwin R. Shyster in that game a lot because I liked his finishing move. I just like the way his finishing move animated in that game. Mm-hmm. For some reason, the write-off, it was just like a clothesline. That's all it was. But it just for some back in the day, the way it was animated looked really fucking cool.
And then the final game that's releasing this week of note is Lunch Truck Tycoon 2, which I don't know if I was more astounded that there is a Lunch Truck Tycoon video game or that this is the second one. And that's releasing on PS4, who, as we've discussed in previous episodes, have zero quality standards because all you need to do is take a look at a couple screens for Lunch Truck Tycoon 2 and ask yourself the question, what the fuck is this doing on PS4?
Yo, I'm looking at the trailer on Steam. This is egregious.
It's really bad, isn't it?
Yeah, this is preposterous.
Sony, I've said this before, and I'll continue saying it until you do something. I'm not saying you have to be like super restrictive gatekeepers, but at least have someone manning the post for Christ's sakes, so that not every miscreant that wanders in off the street is able to find its way onto your platform.
Yeah, you don't have to have gatekeepers, but you should have a gate.
What the fuck is that? Like when Micah was single and lived in his studio apartment where we used to record this podcast, like it wasn't like he lived in a gated community, and I know what you're thinking. Whoa, Mike is hoity-toity. He's not. Trust me. Like, it wasn't like a serious gated community, but it at least offered some level of protection so that not everybody could get it.
This is
just enough to keep the riffraff out.
Right. Like, that's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for from this.
This was fucking terrible. Like,
it's awful.
No, that's.
And again, this is Lunch Truck Tycoon 2. That means Lunch Truck Tycoon 1 was successful enough that they were like, guys, we can make a sequel.
And theoretically, this is the better looking one.
Yes, that's also true. So they took a break from Firefighter Simulator 18 and, over the weekend and created Lunch Truck Tycoon 2. I don't mean to shit on anyone that developed this game.
I do.
Except I do.
This is uncalled for.
I would like to know how many man hours were put into the development of Lunch Truck Tycoon 2. Because if it's more than like 50, you guys did too much work.
I agree.
So that's all of our new game announcements. I will pass it to Terrence with our headlines for the week.
First up, because of me, God of War is now the fastest selling PS4 exclusive of all time. Because I contributed to that.
I mean, you can claim some credit for this. I feel like I feel like that there has to be at least one person in the world that's like, now that Terrence is off the fence and is now a true blue PlayStation, like, I must now do this as well.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
God of War, it sold 3.1 million copies. God of War has won critical acclaim from pretty much everyone, and now it is a massive commercial success as well. Publishers Sony Interactive Entertainment sold more than 3.1 million units of the franchise. It's only been out for what, 3 weeks?
And that 3.1 million was in the first 3 days.
Yeah. Shit.
Lord knows where it is now.
Making it the fastest selling PlayStation 4 exclusive yet, the company announced today. Sony launched God of War on Friday, April 20. Wow, it's fucking May 7th. Yo, that's crazy.
For comparison's sake, in a week of release, Uncharted 4 had sold 2.7 million units, and Horizon Zero Dawn in 2 weeks sold 2.6 million copies upon release. But apparently people were really clamoring for more Kratos, which is really funny because I think of all the like Sony stable of franchises that were very successful, people were just like, I don't really want a new God of War, because they just assumed that it would be more of the same. And I think people were very excited by the fact that this was incredibly different than what had come before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredibly different. Like, it's not even remotely. It still has those crazy set pieces and shit like that, but it's so different. He actually shows. I wouldn't say that, because he only had one emotion in the other 7 games or however many they were, and that was just anger.
Yeah,
screamed at everything.
Yeah, I believe the technical term for the emotion that he had in the first 3 games was.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it.
I don't even remember. Like, was he sad when he murdered his wife and daughter in the first game? I can't even remember.
In the intro, I don't know. I don't remember. He was just kind of like, well, they're dead now. I got to kill the fucking God of War because he made me do it.
He went through the stages of grief
in like 30 seconds.
Right.
Because all I remember from that scene is when he leaves the house and is like pissed. So like, I'm like, were you ever like shedding a tear, or were you just like, oh man, they're dead. Oh shit, their ashes are all over me. Now I've got to go kill some guys.
Right. Yeah. He Kratos back then was like a 20-year-old like asshole, right? Like who always had to blame somebody else for some shit that he did. Oh no, I killed my family. This is like, and sorry if this is going to be crass, this is like if Chris Benoit killed his family and then blamed Vince McMahon for it. You know what I mean? Like,
it's unfortunate how apt that comparison actually
is. It kind of really is.
It's really unfortunate.
I'm not laughing at the situation, but like it's very apropos, and it's ridiculous. Kratos, like, take some goddamn responsibility.
I think he finally did, didn't he? Did he?
Yeah, he finally did. I think he accepted it, and it was just like,
and then he murked his fucking father in 3.
Right.
That shit. 3 was like very pretty, but for some reason it was kind of a letdown to me. For some reason,
probably because it was over in like 2 seconds.
It was kind of short.
Probably because it blew its load
in the beginning.
Right? It blew its load in the beginning, and then you got to spend hours before you get to another deity, man. Like, that shit should have just been like deity.
It was a really weirdly paced game, also, because nothing in that game had a flow to it, because every section of the game was very different. Like, because you had like you said, they went balls to the wall in the first hour or two of the game, and then you had these weird remember the garden was weird, and then you had the labyrinth, which was weird, and then all of a sudden you were playing Street Fighter against Zeus, which was also weird.
Yeah, what the hell? I just want, if I can just play the bosses, I don't understand why they didn't have a mode where you just play the levels that lead up to the boss. If I could beat the shit out of Hercules all day long. I could rip that guy's head off because I needed a flashlight all day long.
Right.
I could rip Hermes' legs off because I'm Rocket Raccoon all day long. But all that other ancillary shit, all that stupid puzzle shit, it just wasn't as good as the previous games.
Yeah. 2 was the best.
Yeah. I liked 1 quite a bit too, actually.
No, 1 was 1 blew me away when that shit came out. But then 2, one has that it was the first, and it was pretty goddamn amazing on the PlayStation 2. 2, it just expounded on it exponentially, and 3 just looked gorgeous. That's it. The other ones I didn't play them. I didn't play the one on PSP or on the other ones, or the PS3 one.
You didn't
the other PS3 one. What was the Ascension? Where they put a fucking multiplayer in there for some reason.
You didn't miss anything. Okay. You're good.
You didn't miss much. Unless you really like those stories. Ascension is a prequel to the first one, and the first PSP game is a prequel to the first one, and then the second PSP game is a prequel to the second one. But unless you care about Kratos' brother, then there really was no point.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't even know who his brother is.
Deimos.
Oh. Okay. This is still my section, right? Next up, hold on. Before we even
I wrote this link just for you because I knew you'd have to read it, and I don't have to read it.
Switch Pro controller support comes to the Steam because I opened the story before I come, because I'm like, wait a minute, there's some fishy ass shit. I don't trust you.
For those wondering at home, the link, the way I wrote this on our docket is the best controller on the market can now be used on Steam, and I did that because I wanted Terrence to say.
No, you didn't get me. The controller that Nintendo bit off of Xbox has Steam support.
I dare say improved upon from Xbox.
I don't believe you.
Iterated.
Yeah, right.
Apple-fied it, we'll say.
Just made it cost
more. I do like it.
It does cost more, but there's more tech in it. It's the buttons are the face buttons are nicer. It's got a real D-pad that actually functions well.
Oh, the Xbox One controller has a real D-pad too.
It's not as good as the Switch one. Mike could back me up.
Yeah, it really isn't. I do like that Switch controller. It pains me to say that shit too. I tend to play the Switch in handheld mode often, but I prefer to use the Pro controller. So sometimes I'll find myself at work on a Friday when nobody's there, and I'll have the Switch up, but I'll have the Pro controller in my hand, and I just look stupid.
So yeah, it's got Steam functionality now. Steam will support the Nintendo Switch Pro controller beginning with a Steam client beta update that released on Wednesday. The client makes the Pro controller fully bindable and customizable, including such features as gyroscope and vibration. That's neat.
Man, if you play on Steam and you don't go get yourself a Switch Pro controller, I gotta tell you, you're really missing out.
The Switch doesn't have analog triggers. Well, that's already inferior.
It doesn't have like impulse triggers, if that's what you're asking.
Analog triggers, meaning like you can't control how fast the car goes.
I think you can, can't you?
That's what it just. The article said it doesn't.
I'm reading through it right now, or I'm skimming through it right now. Let me see.
Close to the end, it says, bear in mind the Nintendo Switch Pro controller does not have analog triggers, and this won't give it to one either.
That's interesting. I didn't realize
weird. Why would you do that?
Because Nintendo got a Nintendo, man.
That's so fucking bizarre. So how do you...
all that praise, after all that praise, they GameCubed it, yo.
So the analog is on the actual the regular like mini Joy-Cons, right? I would hope, right?
No, it does. If the Pro controller doesn't have it, the Joy-Cons don't have it.
What the fuck, yo? So they don't have racing games then? Like actual racing games, not like Mario Kart.
Well, like Mario Kart.
No, I know that don't count.
Trigger from Mario Kart. You use the face buttons anyway. Wow. So there you go. Well, there's one caveat. If you play like racing games or something like that you need digital controls on your trigger buttons, then maybe not the Switch control. But for everything else, it's worth it.
Okay,
so good.
I don't play racing games, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
And last, I gotta sneeze. Hold up. Jesus Christ. All right. Nintendo sued by peripheral maker alleging Switch design infringes patents.
This is the same guys that tried to sue them last year as well.
Nintendo's being sued again by Game Vice on the claim the design of the Nintendo Switch and its Joy-Con controllers infringes the design of Game Vice patents for controllers that also slide onto handheld gaming devices. All right. Additionally, Routers on Tuesday reported that Game Vice had lodged a complaint against Nintendo with the U.S. International Trade Commission. In a statement, the ITC said it had begun an investigation into certain portable gaming console systems with attachable handheld controllers and components, naming Nintendo because that's like the only one. So
this got thrown out last time as well. I can't imagine that this is going to hold up in court this time. I don't know what the fuck Game Vice is trying to do though, because when look at this picture, I'm pretty sure they could get sued by Microsoft.
Yeah, look at that shit. It's like, well, the analog sticks are placed differently, so
they are, and they also so they the color scheme, or they switched the color scheme. They just reversed it from what it is on the Xbox One controller. But other than that, it's identical.
That's pretty goddamn funny.
The fuck out of here.
Bunch of nonsense. But whatever. Like I said, this is going to get tossed out of court as well.
Yeah, they're like, get the fuck out of here. Game Vice. I don't even know who you are.
Exactly. That's kind of the whole point. It's a little fish punching up at a big fish trying to just get some settlement money. Basically, that's all it is.
Yeah. I think that's it.
That is it.
For headlines.
So again, I mentioned it earlier, densepixels.com/Amazon. Whenever you buy anything on Amazon, big or small, it helps the show. We get a very small percentage of the sale, but you will pay the same low Amazon price that when you buy your Nintendo Switch Pro controller to use on Steam, make sure you go and do it at densepixels.com/Amazon.
Yes.
First up in top stories, the Fortnite Battle Royale is teaming up with Marvel's Avengers Infinity War for a special event. It's a limited time event, and it begins on May 8th, in which there's a special mode that is used that Entertainment Weekly apparently has the scuttlebutt on.
That's the scoop.
What the fuck? Wow. which has Entertainment Weekly has details on the campaign where players can find the Infinity Gauntlet on the map, and whoever grabs it can equip it and actually become Thanos in game. That's kind of cool, right? But is it just a skin change or?
No, I think Thanos actually has like actual like powers that he can use, that he's like very strong as well.
Yeah,
does he have all 6 Infinity Stones?
One assumes.
Well, then that match should be over in the snap of his fingers. Then again, it may only take out half the map. Who knows?
There you go. And the game would be just enough of a dick to not take out the half that's on the other team, but it would take out half of your people and half of their people. Because fuck you.
So I mean, cool. Micah, if this does not get you to play Fortnite, I don't know what ever could.
Dr. Doom being in Fortnite. I'm not going to. Look, I like these movies, but I'm not. Everybody's all up on Thanos' dick now. Nah, I'm not going to do that. You know where my loyalties lie.
So apparently, this came about because the Russo brothers are huge Fortnite fans.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I love how video games are as mainstream as they are, yet I still get dirty looks from people. Me, almost 40 years old and still playing games rather than watch the garbage that is over the airwaves.
Yeah.
I would much rather.
I don't watch a lot.
I would much rather play a game that I'm replaying Tomb Raider. I would much rather do that than watch, I don't know, the 5th episode of Family Feud that came on today. You know what I mean? Like, I just TV stinks. And I would much rather play video games.
Quick score update. It is Capitals and Penguins 0. Caps are up 1-0.
This is it, right? They win this and they move on, right?
They do, and they're not out if they lose.
Right. It's 3-2.
It's 3-2. But see this. So we've talked about this before. It's an annual tradition on Dense Pixels when we get to playoff hockey time, specifically when we get to Caps Pens, which is a tradition like no other annually. The Capitals only start fucking up when there's something on the line, like it's only when they're reaching for the brass ring that shit starts to go awry.
Their wax wings tend to melt the second they get closer to the sun.
So this is like I got to tell you, I've not been like diligently watching over the first couple rounds of the playoffs because first of all, I can't keep doing this to myself. But secondly, because I wasn't concerned because for the first round we played Columbus, who was a team that we were much better than, and we lost the first 2 games. It was like, that's kind of weird, but then we won 4 straight. Fine, moving on. And then against Pittsburgh, I have not been concerned at all through the first 5 games of the series, even though we've been like trading wins with the Penguins. Now I'm concerned because now there's stakes and there's something to win.
Yeah, and now you want it. Because now you want it because you can see it. And the second you start wanting it, the second all these people who live 5 stops down from me on the red line, the second they want it, it's not going to happen.
I'm still doing a good job keeping it at arm's length. I'm not fully invested yet.
All right. I'm just saying.
If they win, we're here for the Eastern Conference Finals.
If they beat the Penguins, they might declare a national holiday.
You know the other part that's been worrying about this hockey playoff season. So the one of the teams that's already qualified in the Western Conference for the Western Conference Finals is the Vegas Golden Knights, a team that is currently in their first season of existence.
Yeah, I was about to say I've never heard of them. What?
Yeah, it's because this is their inaugural season, and they're in the Western Conference Finals.
The Vegas what?
The Vegas Golden Knights.
That sounds like a. Sounds like a team out of like a movie.
Yeah, but you know what? It sounds better than the Wizards.
It does. That's also true. But yeah, so the Vegas, I mean, not that the Caps are done by any means, but in one season, the Las Vegas Golden Knights have done in one season what the Capitals have only done once in almost 50 seasons.
Now, let me tell you
which
something.
Which is really depressing.
That's really fucking ridiculous because there's no ice over there. They live in a desert. How the fuck are they better at ice hockey than everybody on the West Coast? And damn near on this side. Yo, hockey's dumb, yo. Hockey's dumb. Hockey's dumb. I will continue to pretend to care about basketball and not hockey.
Basketball season not over yet?
Not yet.
No. Apparently LeBron James is literally putting the Cavaliers on his back and just dragging them to victory. So
yes, he is. Just the other day he literally told Canada to go fuck itself and just threw the ball up in the air and used his telekinetic abilities to place the ball in the hoop. Fuck your dreams, Canada. Next up, the latest inductees into the 2018 Video Game Hall of Fame have been chosen. Those are, drumroll please, Final Fantasy VII, which came out in 1997, John Madden Football, which I guess is the first John Madden, like not like a series pick, which means every other John Madden, I think, is eligible to be in the Video Game Hall of Fame.
I think for this and Tomb Raider, like this is supposed to represent the series at large, basically.
Let's hope so, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Space War came out in 1962. It's an oscilloscope game, apparently. And Tomb Raider came out in 1996. Congratulations. Laura was becoming the Susan Lucci of the Video Game Hall of Fame. So I'm glad that she...
There has to be a 20-year-old person out there.
I have no clue what the fuck you're talking about.
There's at least one. Someone's going to write it and be like, who is Susan Lucci? Google her.
Yes, Google her. And then read this story because she was being considered, Tomb Raider was being considered for both 2016 and 2017, and the Video Game Hall of Fame began in 2015. So, and Final Fantasy was a second ballot Hall of Famer. The only first ballot Hall of Famer was Space War,
a game that was never commercially released.
Yeah,
but it looks like the predecessor for the video game that was played in Never Say Never Again between James Bond and Largo, perhaps.
Oh, yo, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
We're reviewing it soon.
Yes,
preview members. Just so you know, it's going to be a doozy.
Yeah, it's going to be something. So, are you happy with these picks? I can't remember what the other 6 nominees were, but I think we called pretty much Tomb Raider and Final Fantasy being in there.
Yeah, I think so. I don't have any. I mean, I don't know anything about Space War. I'm assuming they did their due diligence in putting it in here. But aside from that, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, as much as we have fun at Final Fantasy VII's expense, no one is ever going to deny the impact that it had for the industry.
No, absolutely not. I still, but if Final Fantasy VII is just representing Final Fantasy VII and not the Final Fantasy series at large, then I'm going to need Final Fantasy VI to get inducted as well at some point. I'm just saying. But it won't. I
thought I saw a link here that says that anyone can nominate a game. So, yeah, there's a link in the story where anybody can nominate a game. So I say we get everybody to just write in Final Fantasy VI. And
I've never played it, so I can't do that.
Yeah, come on, man. Don't be like that, okay? You can vote. You know enough about it.
I don't know anything about Final Fantasy VI.
It's better than 7. Like, that's all you need to know.
I don't know that to be true because I've never played it. I like Final Fantasy 7. I like it a lot, actually.
Really? Who's your favorite character?
I don't remember the characters' names.
I mean, they're pretty much just the most iconic RPG characters, JRPG characters of all time, and of the modern era, and you just don't know any of them.
The nigga that flew the ship.
The nigga that flew the ship.
It is a damn shame. It is a damn shame that we can't use that for the show title. Because I really want to. I really want to.
What's his name?
His name is Sid.
Yeah, Sid Highwind, right?
Yeah, Sid.
Yes.
You know, the name that's in every Final Fantasy. Sid.
One of the names that's in every Final Fantasy.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna write the title as the dude that flew the ship.
That doesn't have
But
the same
rest
impact.
assured, listeners, I'm sure that was a treat to your ears. listening to Terrence's description of Sid Highwood. Holy hell!
Oh, that's funny. Anyway.
Oh Lord.
Can't wait to do that episode as a compliment to the spook who sat by the door. the nigga that flew the ship.
That's probably the sequel. Oh shit.
Oh man. That is hilarious, Terrence.
Oh my god.
Next up, the new Red Dead Redemption 2 has a new trailer out, and it is we find out that Red Dead Redemption 2 is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption, and the description of the trailer is as such: America, 1899, the end of the Wild West era has begun as lawmen hunt down the last remaining outlaw gangs. Those who will not surrender or succumb are killed. After a robbery goes badly wrong in the western town of Blackwater, Arthur Morgan and the Vanderlyn gang are forced to flee, with federal agents and the best bounty hunters in the nation massing on their heels. The gang must rob, steal, and fight their way across the rugged heartland of America in order to survive. As deepening internal divisions threaten to tear the gang apart, Arthur must make a choice between his own ideals and loyalty to the gang that raised him. What'd you think of this trailer, guys?
I don't like the protagonist. Like, I like John Marsden.
I love John Marsden.
Yeah,
and
he was an awesome protagonist. This dude looks like some pretty boy ass dude that I don't know how he doesn't. And then like, it looks fine. Not impressed.
I know what you mean about the protagonist. When I first saw him, I said, well, this is a guy who's dressing up as a cowboy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is like the dude from Westworld who looks like he's just too pretty to be a cowboy. Especially because if you look at the other characters, everybody else has like an interesting face or has like some weird, facial tick. Like John Marsden is in this thing, right? And that makes it even worse for me. Like John Marsden is in this game and I don't get to be him.
Yeah.
There's a character named Micah in it. And he and I look nothing alike.
Okay.
Micah Bell looks like what's the name of that guy? That give me some of that good sarsaparilla. That guy.
Oh, Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. Micah looks like Sam Elliott. And I don't look like Sam Elliott.
No, you certainly do not look like Sam Elliott. But here are my thoughts on this trailer. And I know they've done this before, but it is the most pretentious ass shit to put out a teaser for your trailer that you're dropping out. Because they put out a teaser on Monday that's like, we're releasing this trailer on Wednesday at 11 a.m.
Did they? I didn't even see the teaser.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they did.
They did. They put a screen up that was like, come, make sure you schedule appointment time to check out our trailer, guys, that's dropping this Wednesday at 11 a.m. I was like, what pretentious ass bullshit is this? That you're going to fucking put out a teaser card for you. Just drop the fucking trailer. Do you think no one's going to cover it? Do you think that no one's going to stop what they're doing that morning and be like, oh shit, the Red Dead 2 trailer came out. Let me file this paperwork first though before I fucking write about it on my video game blog. No, they're going to stop what they're doing, drop it in their tracks and talk about your fucking trailer and reblog it too. What the fuck?
So what do you think of the trailer, Brad?
Whatever. I'm not going to play Red Dead Redemption 2. We all know that's not a thing I'm caring about right now. I just wanted to remark on how fucking pretentious Rockstar is. And look, I get it. They're allowed to be. It's fucking Rockstar. They play by their own rules. Everything they touch turns to gold. I get it. But come on.
I don't know.
Like Rockstar is so up there in stature. Like they're literally changing the release date of Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty got out of their way. And they're like, we're not trying to fucking release after your game comes out. So I get it. But act like you've been there before.
I think they are acting like they've been there before. And they came in on a chariot carried by slaves because they can afford it. Goddamn.
But whatever. It didn't make me want to run out and grab Red Dead Redemption 2 when it comes out.
There's something about it that I'm just not feeling it. I literally was watching it like, okay, it looks fine. It's on next gen or current gen hardware. I don't like any of these guys. I don't like anybody. I don't know enough about them, but they didn't grab me.
I mean, half of them are from the first game.
Are they? I don't know. What is his? Is it his gang? Is it his gang?
Yeah. Remember in the first game, Marsden was being strong armed by the feds to kill members of his gang. So all the members that John killed in the first game are alive in this game.
It's a prequel?
Yeah, it's a prequel.
It is.
Wait, when the fuck did the first one take place? What year?
Apparently 1901.
Yeah, 1901, something like that. And this is 1899 or some shit.
Okay.
Yeah, they probably did that because everybody loves John Marsden and they wanted to bring him back.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to let you.
Well, it also had to be prequel because by the time the first game ends, when you are his son, spoilers for a 9-year-old game, it's 1908. And I don't know if you know much about American history, but by the time we get to 1908, Wild West really ain't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
That much.
Yeah.
So they had to move it back because they really couldn't move forward. They kind of started at the end of the timeline and didn't have much place to go forward with. So there you go. I'm sure everyone's excited about this, but didn't really, like I said, it wasn't going to do anything for me in the first place. So it is what it is.
I'm gonna get it, but I'm not pleased about this Arthur Morgan guy. He doesn't even have a cool sounding cowboy name, yo. Like Dutch Vanderlyn, you know what I mean? John Marston, Micah Bell. Those are awesome names, right? Arthur Morgan?
I feel like I work with somebody named Arthur Morgan.
Yeah, you probably do. Probably sounds like he should be teaching like world history. So anyway.
Question of the week. I've had this one in my back pocket for a while. I was waiting for a slow news week, and here we are. Are you guys able to replay story-driven campaigns? Are you one and done? Are you able to play the same story several times in succession? And if so, why? Because I will tell you, and we can talk about our stance on this first. I'm typically like it takes a special game for me to be able to dive back in to the campaign of a story-driven game. There have not been many that I've been able to replay over the years.
Is there any particular?
So generally, no. Like,
is there any particular?
Once I've beaten it, I'm done. Just because I can't go through the same like story beats again, because I already know what's going to happen. Because at that point, you're kind of just doing it for the gameplay. Like, and Micah, you're a good one for this because I know you do. Because like you had to beat, like you have the crushing, like you have a platinum trophy for Uncharted 2.
Yeah,
for example, which means you had to basically play that shit like 3 times.
Yep. I can do that. I can do this. I can only do this for games that have somewhat of a decent gameplay mechanic, and they can't be too long. Like I would love to play RPGs over, like, but RPGs take forever. Like that's another 100 hours. So I generally do it with action adventure games. You know, I said earlier I'm replaying Tomb Raider. The only RPGs I've really done it for are Mass Effect. I've played those games. I've beaten the first Mass Effect like 4 times, and the second Mass Effect like 3 or 4 times, and the third one once because, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I can do it. But the story, the story has to be very character centric and character focused. Because, like, look, let's be honest, right? Everybody loves these Marvel movies except Brad. The stories aren't that great, right? Like Infinity War, one guy is going after a MacGuffin to make a super MacGuffin so that he can do whatever he wants to do with it, right? That's not, the story is not there. But what makes those movies really good are the fact that the characters are so unique and animated and interesting. You know what I mean? That's what's wrong with these Warner Brothers DC movies. We're not asking for like a super story. Like we just want characters to be awesome. And they're not awesome when they're sad all the time. So same thing with video games. The Mass Effect series, that's very character driven. The Uncharted series is incredibly character driven with the different personalities meshing well with one another and the banter that they all have together. Like I wouldn't be able to play like what's an RPG? Like I wouldn't be able to play like a Grand Theft Auto 3 over, because I don't really care about the nameless character and like those people, while they are very animated, like I don't really care for them. There are plenty of games. I think there are games on this list that people have that I can't play an Assassin's Creed game over. I like those games. I can't play them over for their story because their characters don't do anything for me. They're nothing. They're nothing. Halo games. Master Chief is a cipher. Like he has no personality. I can't play those games for the story. So then, are you playing it for the story or are you playing it for gameplay? Now, if I'm just want to like Destiny, I can play Destiny over and over again, not for the story. I don't know what the fuck happened in Osiris. I don't know who he is.
Well, and like Destiny's not really a game that I would qualify under this because
right. I see what you
that
mean.
Game's about the grind.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't really, it's about other things for me. Like I play the game all the time, but it's about other things. I'm getting Warmind. I'm gonna blow through that story because shit opens up at the end because it's a roadblock. You know what I mean?
How about you, Terrence?
Story-driven games?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would you consider a story-driven game? Like a Tomb Raider?
Yep, that would be
like
that would qualify.
I finished the remake, the reboot of Tomb Raider like 3 or 4 times. I really like that game.
So why is that? Why does that work for you to go back and through and just play it over and over again?
I don't know. Well, I've played it on the beat it on normal and then hard, and then I just kind of went back through it. I don't know. I don't know what it is specifically about that game. I think just the way that game was designed, and just me playing a lot of the older games, and just how they brought it to the modern time, how they brought it to the modern consoles, impressed me so much that I was like, and I would do it on a whim. I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and play Tomb Raider again. And I would just play through the entire game again, know where everything is, run through it. I could beat it in I don't know how long.
See, but sounds...
I don't know. I think it's the story. I don't know if it's necessarily the story.
Yeah.
It's weird because I don't think once you beat a game once and you just kind of go through it again, you kind of skip the story. Like you start pressing the X button if you can. I don't know. So maybe it's not the story. Maybe it's just like the game itself, like the gameplay that makes me go through game. Like Devil May Cry. That game is designed to like you beat the game and then it unlocks a harder mode. You skip the fucking story because you don't give a fuck anymore. You're just trying to get as good as you possibly can. But I don't know. A game that I actually played for the story multiple times, I don't know if there's ever been one now that I think about it.
Like you finished God of War's story, would you start a new game? Because there's no incentive to go back and once you platinum the thing, there's no incentive to go back.
Unless you wanted to play it on the harder difficulty level. The hardest
level. But would you say, man, I really like that father-son story. I want to experience that again.
The whole story?
Yeah, like
no, but there are like certain sections that you would want to play over that you have to get through to play. Like some of the boss fights are kind of cool, but you got to play through the whole game over again to get through some of them. Which I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I just want to kind of get to those particular fights because those moments were pretty fucking cool. But no, I honestly, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever played a game for the story multiple times. Unless they have multiple endings, like Mass Effect, like you said, because the characters do different things based on what you choose. But then again, you probably like skip shit just so you can get to the different.
But see, but even then, like I've had trouble. Like I've played the first quarter of Mass Effect 1 5 times because like I go to replay it, and then like I get to the first point where you have to decide which way to go. I'm like, I don't really feel like doing all this. It's weird. It's weird. I there's just this roadblock where I'm like, I don't want to experience this again.
Man, I've played Dragon Age Inquisition like 5-6 times.
That's insane crazy to me. That blows my mind.
I can't even finish it the first time.
on multiple consoles and PC. Like I really dig that story. And there's only some. Let me ask you this: do you watch movies over?
Yep, I watch.
Yes, but that's only a 2-hour commitment. That's completely different.
I watched Die Hard.
That's completely
probably 100 times. Literally.
I mean, shit. Just this weekend, I think I watched 3 James Bond movies and Mission Impossible 6 for like the 4th time. So, go figure.
But you didn't have time to play God of War.
Again, my family was joining with me for this. I try not to play PlayStation when they're awake and doing stuff.
That's funny.
Feel bad if I'm boring them. You ass. By the way, Micah, Live and Let Die, I've really grown an affinity for that movie, an appreciation for that film.
See, I don't know. You're hanging around all these black people. You're getting woke. I was like, you know what?
It's got to be
this blaxploitation James Bond. I can kind of appreciate this. Let me go back and listen.
I think it's just
let me go back and listen to like episode 4 of Black on Black Cinema. What's that called? Boston? Oh, not that one.
I think I like middle-aged Roger Moore better than old Roger Moore.
Well, I mean, I think everybody loves middle-aged Roger Moore. Like, yeah, I can accept the goofiness of middle-aged Roger Moore. I refuse to accept the goofiness of 55-year-old Roger Moore.
As well, you shouldn't for no reason whatsoever. So anyway, let's turn over to the listeners. Mark says depends on the game. The story's really good. He's replayed a few Final Fantasies, Red Dead Redemptions, few GTAs, things like that. Partly because he likes to see if there's more than one way to get to the end. The first time through is mostly trial and error, but more playthroughs allow me to get better and figure out the actions to make it faster. Also, not being a rich podcast host kind of forces me to stick with the games I have for a while. Trust me, we are not rich podcast hosts.
Not at least not the three of us.
Yeah.
No, maybe that guy over on that other show. Possibly.
What's that called? The embezzler?
Evan says he'll replay a campaign if he's able to keep all of his stats and powers. So New Game Plus player. And that's maybe that's one of the few exceptions is because I did play Chrono Trigger. But then again, Chrono Trigger, you could jump into the end boss fight relatively quickly on the New Game Plus save file. So maybe not as much as I thought. Trey says, if I'm able to really like the story, for example, I'm replaying Bayonetta 2, which is a bonus to a great story, has perks for constant replays. Amir says, I'm able to replay them most of the time, probably beaten MGS, besides 4 or 5, about 10 times each. If it has a good story and good gameplay, that's what gets me to play again. 40 says 4 is one big ass movie that you can beat the game blind, and 5 is trash, but the game mechanics are good. I guess he means the story is trash in MGS 5. Amir also gets like 8 million platinum trophies, so that's probably why Amir can do it too. Johnny says all the time, games like Mass Effect or big RPGs that have multiple endings or paths are usually the first reason to play a game over and over. Second reason, because certain action games like Bayonetta or DMC, so Terrence, like you said, make it impossible to unlock items, techniques, costumes, and modes without several playthroughs, or of course the reason of getting trophies or achievements.
But again, are you playing those games for the story, or are you playing them because they play well? My first playthrough of Bayonetta 2, it got to the point that little kid came around, and I'm just like, yo, fuck this. Skip. I don't know what the hell is going on in Bayonetta 2. I just know I finished it.
Damn.
Ricky says, I do love to replay story missions, especially if he paid $80 for it. That's the one thing he doesn't like about Destiny 2, that they limit you to only 3 story mission replays per week. Destiny 1, of course, you could do it, and he's very excited for Warmind. He said he's already feeling sick, so I guess he might take a paid day off of work tomorrow. Ricky might to play that Warmind. Cam says, used to replay campaigns a lot more when you were a kid. Put up almost 300 hours on 2 different playthroughs of Final Fantasy X for existence. God damn. But I'm getting too old for that shit now. A game is lucky even if I see its ending even once nowadays. I'm also a chronic 2/3 player of many games.
Yeah. Sometimes that's not your fault. Like,
that's true. That's true. They do run out of steam sometimes.
Persona 5 has no business being 8,000 hours long.
Did you ever finish it?
No.
Oh.
Will you ever finish it?
Probably not anymore.
Yeah, because you're already you're too
far gone, man. I would have to start
when you pick it.
I would have to start over.
I call that and this, I didn't invent this. I saw it in a meme, but it's the Gandalf effect, where you pick up a game that you haven't played in forever. It's like, this feels familiar. I feel like I've been here before. Malcolm says, depends on the game. I've done Last of Us and the God of War series multiple times. Not the new one, though. He does mostly kill time or to challenge himself on harder difficulty. And he asked how I feel about Cam setting me up last night against Braun and Bobby Lashley at Backlash. I gotta be honest, Malcolm, I was sleepwalking through most of that pay-per-view, I gotta say, after getting my bell rung by Braun Strowman on the outside yet again. Backlash wasn't great. It wasn't great. On multiple levels. It was not great. And the New Jersey crowd also ain't shit, by the way, either.
Yeah, I think I gotta want Enzo chant.
There was a "We Want Enzo" chant, and
don't have it, Jersey is the armpit of America, yo.
Holy shit, there are a lot of answers to this. I didn't realize we had so many responses. Randy says, mostly one and done because these stories are long. He doesn't have time for replays, and he's still working on God of War. Me too, Randy. Me too. Jason says, yeah, I love games that have great stories. I've replayed many a game like Max Payne 3, Dead Space 2, the Arkham games, GTA 5, and COD campaigns. These games and the like have great story experiences that he loves replaying, just like a movie that you like to watch over and over again. See, the Arkham games are a good example, because I know people that have 100%ed those games, and then they went back and did it like again or 2 more times. And I'm just like, I don't understand why. Like, once you've seen all that there is to see, for some reason in my brain, it just doesn't compute. So, Rashawn says it all depends on the game. And me personally, I think I played the original Assassin's Creed so many times, I could probably give a tour of each city. It's one game franchise he can play over and over again. Let's see. John says this is definitely a per game type thing. He's played through Persona 3 and 4 like 5 times each. Not just for the story. Always feel like I miss little things here and there, not to mention it has multiple endings. How the fuck is Persona going to have multiple endings? Unless you can like New Game Plus that shit and skip right to the final decision point. Good Lord. And he says as a wrestling fan, he plays through the season showcase career mode multiple times since No Mercy, even since all the way back at No Mercy. Yeah, I could see that. Like I said, those games are a little different. I feel like that games like that are a little more replayable. Aaron says it's fun to play through the campaign more than once. You almost always miss something. It depends on it depends on per game. See a lot of per game basis. Seth, I don't remember seeing Seth before, so welcome, Seth. Says one and done for the most part. There are just so many good games to play. I'd rather move on to something new. God of War was amazing. Part of what made it amazing was being surprised of what happened. Playing again wouldn't be nearly as fun. Michael says that the story is engrossing and well done. I'm definitely down to play through it again. Last of Us, he cites as an example. Jake says it's funny we mention it because he just began a new playthrough of Assassin's Creed Black Flag this weekend. He said he's beaten Link to the Past probably 40 or 50 times. Yeah, that's one I've played several times as well. But see, that's more of a gameplay thing. Like I, for some reason, I liken Link to the Past and a lot of those other SNES games to like Destiny. Because it's all about the gameplay, right? Like, I don't give a fuck about the story because the story is just kind of along for the ride as you go. And yeah, he mentions the 16-bit era specifically, how many hundreds of hours that he's put into those games. Terrell calls back to Amir saying that he thinks MGS 1 and 2 are the most replay value of any game, and they give you a different experience every time you play it.
I feel like I'll go with 1 and 3.
I would agree with you as well on that.
I love 3. 3 is one of my favorite games.
Now, I will say that I'm saying I don't do this, but Metal Gear Solid 1, I played through 3 times during a single rental from Blockbuster.
God damn.
Well, because I
run through that game in no time.
You can, especially once you get the stealth,
the
stealth, the stealth, and the bandana. Yeah, the bandana. That was a fun playthrough. Running through and just murdering everybody. The guns because he had infinite ammo. Aaron says only if they're like Chrono Trigger. See, Chrono Trigger I got multiple endings on as well. Justin says I can play the same story twice or sometimes thrice. Very, very good Simpsons callback. But that is rare and certainly not happening in immediate succession. After all, why retread old ground when there are new things to experience? The very problem that I have. Another new person that I don't recognize, Spencer. Welcome, Spencer. I've replayed Fantasy Life about 15 to 20 times and other games that I really enjoy. I can replay forever. Knowing the story doesn't always make me not want to replay the game, but knowing before ever playing it or having it spoiled, then I can't touch it. Wicked D, we got a lot of new responses this week. What happened?
I know him. That's there he is.
Well, he's never contributed to question. He's never I can recall.
Welcome, you asshole.
Right. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, leave those 5-star reviews. Says yes, only if they have different endings or if they have extra content to unlock from a harder difficulty, or if the story is just that good. God of War. Chris says, I'm mostly one and done, partially because most story-driven games don't have enough variation in gameplay, and partially because he's a huge backlog of unplayed games, not enough time to get to them all. He does enjoy having a different experience with each playthrough, such as playing another class in an RPG, or being an asshole once and then a Boy Scout the next time in Mass Effect. No, Chris, only play Renegade. That's all you have to do. Don't worry about Paragon. Renegade, where it's at. Jim. Well, I feel like I haven't seen Jim before either, so welcome to Jim. For the most part, I can play them again, but there must be a long time span in between playthroughs. And finally, Gustavo says, mostly one and done, except for Fallout New Vegas. He played it 3 separate times and had 100 hours plus on each of the playthroughs.
Okay. Yes. I think you skipped Stuart, who says, it's like a good book or movie to me. If it's memorable and has compelling story and characters, I can replay it every now and then. Just want to make sure we got it.
Yes. Well, I appreciate that. And thank you guys for responding. I wasn't expecting this big of a response, I got to be honest, because this is one that I just jotted down a couple of weeks ago and was just waiting for the right time. But hey, that worked out swimmingly. So thank you all very much again for responding to Question of the Week. That is it for us this week. So again, don't forget to join our fan group if you're not in there yet. Facebook, our densepixels.com/fans. There's discussions happening in there every single day. It's a great time. Check it out if you've not yet. As Micah said earlier, leave us a 5-star review on the iTunes. If you do, we will read it on the air. Facebook and Twitter, you can find us at Dense Pixels. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcatcher that you use. And we are all on Twitch as well. The main show channel is Dense Pixels. I am Dense Pixels Brad. Terrence is Apparition 410. Micah is Dense Black Nerd. And Carrie is Sup It's Carrie. So that is it for us this week. We will hopefully figure out video for you guys next week. But still go to youtube.com/DensePixels and subscribe to the channel while you are there. Thank you guys very much for listening, and we will see you all next time.
See ya.
Take it easy.
You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here, and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.